I am so ready to leave winter behind and jump right into spring. I am ready for all the flowers and the pastel colors and the spring reads. I'm just overall so excited for this new season. That's why in today's video, we're going to be doing all sorts of spring activities to get us in the spring spirit, in the spring mood. But before we get into that, hi, I'm Nide. I'm so glad you clicked on this video. If you don't know me, I make bookish content. Basically, I just talk about books nonstop. So if you're also a bookish person, a book lover, I would love to have you join my bookish community. So please don't forget to subscribe. But back to today's video. Today, we're doing all sorts of spring activities. Specifically, we're going to be decorating my reading corner. You might already see some spoilers around me because I am filming this intro after I've done all the things that we're going to be doing in today's video. So don't look too close. But let's go ahead and get started with all the spring and bookish activities. All right, so I'm finally back home and I got quite a few things for a DIY project. And also while I was out, I went to different stores that had book sections and they actually had a pretty good selection. However, nothing really caught my attention and I wasn't like gonna buy a book just to buy a book. And so I only got one book, La Casa de los Espíritus by Isabel Allende. I read one other book by this author and I really enjoyed it. I gave it like 3 stars. I had a good time with it. But you guys have been recommending this book to me so many times that I just needed to pick it up. But specifically because I just fell in love with this edition. It's just absolutely stunning. I love everything about it. Look at the spread edges. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I had to take this home. Of course I had to. But like I said, this book has been recommended over and over again over on my TikTok. I have a series going on over there called Follower Favorites where I read and review your favorite books. And this one has been recommended multiple times. So I was gonna read it soon anyways. And now I have this gorgeous edition to display in my bookshelves. So, you know, it's a win-win situation in my opinion. Also, there's another really exciting thing happening today because I'm gonna go watch Project Hail Mary at the theaters. I'm so incredibly excited for that movie. I love this book with all my heart, okay? This is a 5-star read for me, maybe even a 6-star read because I love this book so much, okay? It has such a special place in my heart. I even drew something for it and I put it here in the book. I used to have like a little wall behind my bed where I put all my little drawings of my books. And so I decided when I took that down, I was gonna put the drawings in their respective books. And this is the one that I did for Project Hail Mary. If you read this, you know who this is. I love this book so much. I am so excited for this movie. I feel like it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal because I've seen so many people that have already watched it rave about how good it is. So I'm just so excited. I have a feeling that it's gonna be a roller coaster of emotions. I think that I'm gonna laugh. I think that I'm gonna cry. I definitely did cry a lot at the ending of this book. I was like literally sobbing at the ending of this book. So I have a feeling that I'm also gonna be an emotional mess at the theaters. The movie's like in 2 hours. So I'm just gonna take a little breather. I'm gonna relax a little bit. I'll of course let you know what I think about it, but I have a feeling that I'm really gonna enjoy it. Good morning, friends. Today we're gonna be working on the DIY decorations for my book corner. I am so excited. I feel like everything's gonna turn out so cute. At least I am hoping that it will because I am no like DIY expert. I'm just trying my best here. But before we get into that, I do want to talk to you guys about the Project Hail Mary movie because like you guys saw, I went to watch it like a couple days ago now. And I just wanted to let you guys know what I thought about it just in case you were curious. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought that it was like a really solid book to movie adaptation, which is not usually the case. I was a little bit nervous going into it because usually when we get a movie from a book, they either just like change so many things that the book and the movie are just like 2 different things, or it just really doesn't translate well and the movie just ends up being not great. But I really enjoyed this one. I actually loved it so much. I went to watch it with my mom and she's not a big like sci-fi person and she really enjoyed it too. She got emotional. I mean, we both did because it is an emotional movie all around, but of course the book is better. It always will be. We get a lot more in the book. We like really are able to dive deep to every single character and scene. And even though the movie did a very good job at really showing you what was going on and like making the story interesting and emotional and everything that happens, you know, in the book does happen in the movie. But in the book, we are able to really understand everything and really dive deep into everything. But I still really enjoyed it. All right, so now getting back into the DIYs, what am I planning on making? I'm also going to decorate already made things things except for one thing. I'm gonna be making a garland. Specifically wanted to do this video because of that little corner over there where I usually keep my reading chair, because since I did my whole reorganization for my reading area, I believe I did that during Vlogmas, I don't love how it's looking. I feel like it just looks kind of boring and like nothing is happening over there compared to my bookshelf area. And I'm still gonna decorate my bookshelf area because I love decorating it and I want to change a couple things. Another thing that I want to work on today is actually on Kindle inserts, because I recently got a clear case for my Kindle. Actually, let me show you. So I recently got this clear case for my Kindle because I have been loving seeing everybody's like Kindle inserts, and I wanted to do that too because this is my Kindle right now. It has the original cover that it came with, and I don't hate it, but I don't love it. So I would love to decorate it and have it look more like springtime kind of. Actually, did I get the wrong one? No. Don't tell me that I got the wrong size. It doesn't look like, oh my God, guys, I got the wrong size. This is not gonna fit my Kindle. This is a Kindle Colorsoft, and I made sure to get the one that it said was for Kindle Colorsoft, but like, what am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? Okay, so scratch that. We're not going to be decorating my Kindle. We're not going to be making any Kindle inserts today. When I first saw it, I was a little bit like concerned because it looks small, but I don't know. I just assumed that the case like made it look bigger, and when I took it out of the case, it was going to fit, but it does not. I really wanted to do some Kindle inserts. That sucks, man. I mean, I could technically... Should I? I could get a Kindle insert and put it back here. I don't know. I could technically like tape it. Maybe we should try it, see how it looks. If it's not looking good, then we take it off and don't use it. But I don't know. I was really excited for the Kindle insert, so I might still try it. I might still go for it and see how it looks. And if it doesn't end up looking good, then we'll just like not use it. Another thing that I want to do is decorate this little pot, this little flower pot, because I have my bookmarks over there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm guessing you can. I have my bookmarks over there in that little mug, and I just feel like it just doesn't match the vibe that I'm going for, because it is very much like wintry and we're leaving winter behind. Okay, we're going into spring. So I thought that I could decorate this, paint it with some like tulips and some vines and stuff, and I could replace that with this, and I can put my bookmarks here. Also, like I said before, I want to make a paper garland for my little area over there, and my mom was so kind and she cut out some different little stripes of paper so that I can use them to make my garlands, because I'm planning on making 2. So let's get started with the actual DIY process. So the garlands are finally ready. Even though it's like a very simple DIY, it looks so cool. I love this. It's gonna make my reading corner look so good and so decorated and so ready for spring. This is actually the corner that I'm talking about over here. Like, it only has a painting and it's not even centered, and I don't like how it looks right now. I'm trying to eventually get a bookshelf, just like a corner bookshelf, so it looks even better and I can keep more books there. But for now, we're just gonna stick to the garlands. All right, so now I think I'm gonna move on to work on the flower pot. So we're gonna be painting. This was the one that I'm a little bit more nervous for because, you know, I have no idea how it's gonna turn out. I've never painted tulips before, but you know, that's part of the fun. We're gonna see how it turns out. We're gonna see what I can do with it. Like I said before, I just want to change my bookmark holder because right now it's just giving winter, and we're not doing that. We're trying to get out of winter, right? We're trying to get into spring, and I just feel like changing it up will definitely bring some seasonal vibes into our bookshelf. So let's go ahead and get started because I don't know how long it's gonna take me. So let's go ahead and get started with that, I guess. All right, so as you saw, I finished decorating the flower pot and I actually think it turned out pretty cute. I mean, the flowers are a little bit wonky, but other than that, I think it looked really cute. I actually just sent over the Kindle insert that I was talking about that I was hoping to use the clear case for, but of course, we all know now that we cannot use that for it because it is too small. I'm gonna go pick it up. I sent it over to Walgreens so they can print it and we'll test it out and see how it looks. I am back home. I got the Kindle insert and it's already on my Kindle and I wanted to show you because even though it doesn't look amazing, because of course it would look better if it had the clear case, I think it looks kind of cute. I think it looks kind of good. Okay, so are you ready? Here's how it looks like. I think that it looks pretty good. Is it just me? But I think it looks kind of cute. And with that, I think that's all the DIYs that we have to do. So that means that we're ready for decorating. I'm not going to do it today though because I have a couple things that I have to do, but I'm just so ready to bring all the spring vibes to my reading area. The time has come. It is time to decorate my reading corner. I'm just excited to bring life into this little area of my room. I also want to try to make those very like aesthetic book pages that I've seen everywhere on Pinterest. So I took a bunch of pages of a book that I didn't want anymore and we're going to try and put them on the wall. I'm going to try and make it look good, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. So yeah, I'm really excited and a little nervous, but I'm sure that everything's going to look good. So let's go ahead and get straight into the decorating. I am officially in love with my reading corner. Everything looks so good. I'm so happy that everything turned out fine because I had no idea how it was gonna look like, but I am in love with the result. It just really needed some decoration. Just everything was looking so plain and I think it looks like 10 times better now. So I am extremely happy with how everything turned out. I also put up the pot that I painted with you guys earlier in the video and again, obsessed. I'm absolutely obsessed with everything right now. Absolutely loving all the spring vibes. I think that now it is actually a good time to talk about my spring TBR and all the books that I would like to get to during this season. I put a total of 8 books in my spring TBR because I just did not want to overcommit because I know myself. I don't stick to TBRs. Literally never. I don't really stick to a TBR. That's the truth. Okay, we have to be honest with ourselves. So I didn't want to have like a 12 book TBR or anything like that. So I decided to pick and choose some books that I thought that were perfect for this season, but also books that I'm really excited to read. And that way it would be more probable that I would read these books. So we'll see how many of them will end up reading by the end of the season, but I'm very hopeful that I will at least get to a few of them. Actually, at the moment that I am filming this video, I've already read one from the list, and that is Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. Another book that I would like to get to during springtime is Emily Weil's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I feel like this is the epitome of spring. I just feel like it is such a good book to read during this season. So I just wanted to put it on this TBR because again, I just think it is a perfect book for spring, okay? I don't know what I'm gonna think about this book because it is kind of like, from what I know, a mix between a historical fiction with a fantasy. And I have heard some people say that it is a little bit slower and it is very academic and stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like I might like it. I don't know. I just want to give it a shot and see what I think about it. Another book that is on this TBR is She Gets the Girl. This is a young adult contemporary romance, I think. And I don't know. It seems cute. It seems like it's going to be like a fun little time. I think it'll be something that I really enjoy. And I cannot forget to mention, this is a sapphic love story. So, I mean, what else else you gotta say for me to read it. I'm gonna read it. Another one that I want to try to get to in this season is Death of the Author. The only things that I know about this book, it is that it is a sci-fi and that it deals with some sort of like book inside a book element thing. I think that it's gonna be interesting and I want to find out again if I like it or not, so I decided to put it on this TBR. The reviews that I have seen for this book have all been amazing, so I think that it is something that I probably will enjoy, so it is part of my spring TBR. And then we have the Center or the Sentry. I have no clue if this is the Center or the Sentry. I have said the Center for such a long time, and then I actually like looked at the title, like really looked at the title, and I was like, wait a minute, I think that says Sentry. I have no idea if it's Center or Sentry. I'm gonna figure it out when I actually pick it up to read it. But from what I know, in this book there is this like institution that you can go to and learn a new language like pretty quickly. That already sounds very interesting to me, but this book is also a horror book, so I know that weird things are gonna start happening, so I'm all for it. And by the way, I don't know if you've noticed already, but most of the books on this TBR have some sort of spring element in their covers, so that might have been a determining factor for those books to be added to my TBR. You can't prove anything, but yeah, I wanted to read them anyways. They're part of my TBR, so there's really no harm for them to also be on theme. But moving on to a book that I actually did not think that it had any like spring vibes at all, but it is something that I've been saying that I need to read for quite a bit now, and for some reason I don't pick up, and that is I Who Have Never Known Man. This book, for some reason, I know that I'm really gonna enjoy this. I know it. I just don't ever gravitate towards it, even though I really want to read it. If there's any book on my TBR that I'm like, I need to read this book, is this one, is this book. But for some reason, I just never pick it up. I need to prioritize reading this one. Like, this one needs to be read like right now, because I need to read it. I want to find out why there's so many polarizing opinions on this book. I feel like you either love it or you don't. And I think it comes down to the ending specifically. From what I know, it has a very ambiguous, like open-ended ending, and some people like that and some people don't. I don't really care for an ambiguous ending when I can come to my own conclusions, but if the book just doesn't really explain anything and it doesn't give you anything for you to be able to come to your own conclusions, then I might not like it. So I definitely want to see what everybody's talking about. I want to come to my own conclusions on if I like this book or not, so hopefully I get to it during springtime. And then moving on to a book that I chose for really no particular reason, and that is Bloom. Yeah, okay, of course I picked this book for the TBR because of the name and the cover. Are you kidding me? It is like the perfect book to read during springtime. This is another horror book. I'm not 100% sure if this one is a novella, but I think that it is, and it is about two florists falling in love, and I also think this one is sapphic, so I mean, I'm probably gonna love this. And again, it's just like the perfect book to read during this season, so it was a no-brainer. I had to put it on this TBR. And then last but definitely not least, a book that I've been definitely interested in for quite a bit now. I think I've had it on my TBR for a couple years, and also just fits so perfectly for this time of year. And I'm talking about no other book than House of Bloom. First of all, the cover is just absolutely stunning. The artwork is just perfection. Also, I've heard like really great things about this book. This is also a young adult horror book, I think, and I've heard like really great things about it. I've seen phenomenal reviews, and I think that it's gonna be a really good one, and I have high hopes that I'm really gonna enjoy this one. This is like a 4 or 5 star prediction for me, so it's most definitely going into the TBR, but we'll see when I actually get to it. So those are all the books that are on my spring TBR. Let me know what book are you most excited to read during this season, because I feel like you guys might have some pretty good recommendations that I can steal from you, so definitely leave those in the comments. I would love to see what books are you hoping to get to during this season. And then finally, the last thing on the list is to talk about the upcoming new releases for April that I am so excited for. I actually just have 2 books this month that I am very much looking forward to. The first one being The Caretaker by Marcus Kluwer. I read We Used to Live Here by the same author last year, and I loved it. It was such an incredible horror book. I'm not afraid to say that I was a little bit scared of that book. It did have a lot of creepy, eerie moments, which I just absolutely love, but also it was like such a confusing book at the same time. But I had a great time with it. I believe I gave it 4 stars. I knew that I was going to pick up anything that this author came up with in the future, because this actually was his debut novel, which is insane because it was so good. I would have never thought that it was a debut if I didn't know that. I had an incredible time with it, like I said, so I was very much looking forward to any new releases that this author might have, and I found out that we were getting a new book this year, and that is The Caretaker. I am so incredibly incredibly excited for this book. I think it's gonna be absolutely phenomenal. I feel like, of course, it has to be better than his last book, right? This one comes out on April 21st, and from what I know, we follow a woman who is very down on her luck. She really doesn't have any money. She is looking for a job, and so she sees this like very weird job listing, but like I said, she cannot be too picky. She's very desperate to find a new job, so she takes the job, and she finds out that she actually has to take care of a house, I believe, for 3 days, and she's gonna get paid like a lot of money. And she's like, you know, how hard could it be? This is gonna be the easiest money that I ever make in my life, you know? But of course, things just don't go as planned. Things are not easy at all. I'm so hopeful that Our Bar Book Box is gonna have it as one of their picks for the month of May, because I just really want to read this book as soon as it comes out. So definitely something that I'm super excited for. And then the next book that I'm gonna talk about, I think it is my most anticipated book of 2026. Actually, no, it's not my most anticipated book, because I am looking forward to volume 6 of Heartstopper, which is behind me right there. The whole series is behind me because I love that series so much. But speaking of the new release, this book I am so excited for, and that is We Burn So Bright by T.J. Klune. This one comes out on April 28th, I believe. And in this one, the world is coming to an end. There's a black hole coming for Earth. So our main characters, a married couple, decide to go from Maine to Washington because they have like some unfinished business over there. I have no idea what could it be, because I really wouldn't want to spend my last month on Earth in a road trip, but that's exactly what they decide to do. They take a road trip all the way from Maine to Washington. They're going to be driving. I guess we're going to be following them throughout their journey and figuring out what's going on and why exactly they're going to go over there when, you know, the world is ending. I have a big feeling that this book is going to be a 5-star. Like, I'm calling it now. I know it's going to be a 5-star. I love TJ Klune's books. I love them so much because they have a mix of found family and queer characters. And if you know anything about me, you know that that's my perfect type of book. I love anything that has to do with found family. And of course, I absolutely love anything that has to do with queer characters. I just know that I'm going to love it. I know that it's going to be one of my favorite books of all time. I can feel it. So I'm most definitely excited for that one. And with that, we have come to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me as we did so many spring activities. I mean, we basically redecorated my whole reading area and it is looking fantastic. I am in love with how everything turned out. I'm really happy that I was able to bring my vision to life. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a thumbs up. And also, if you have not done so already, don't forget to subscribe. I try to upload a bookish video at least once a week. So if that's something that interests you, please don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.